Objection! Hello, everypony. I'm MasterCode, your ace analyst, and today we continue our look at the MLP Generations comic arc with issue number 2. When we last left off in the previous issue, Dire and Grackle's smooth ponies arrived at the School of Friendship, not looking the most subtle by the reactions of every pony else. Their names are Violet Shiver, Blackbell, and Shadow Storm. Yes, they even have subtle names. I'm surprised one of them wasn't called Dr. Baron Von Evil Satan. Despite their demeanor, their palettes are aesthetically fine, with the complementary colors for each of them, and they also look pretty cool and diverse, so it all works. So yeah, if the witch's goal was to make them both vicious and subtle, all I have to do is point at Blackbell's unicorn horn and say, try again. Anyway, Pinky gives the 3 ponies the grand tour, and them struggling to keep their professional persona is also entertaining as well. Back in the Volcano of Gloom with Dire and Grackle, the witches are doing chores around the house when Trench arrives with a letter from their parents, and this development brings up some rather interesting issues. To summarize the high points, their parents advise them to dismantle the ponies community by making them question their loyalties and disrupt their magic. I'll come back to that, but the real issue I've been dancing around since the first comic is that they are getting revenge on a totally unknown group of ponies instead of, the ones who trapped you in this volcano. Yeah, these 2 witches have no prior feud or history with the ponies of Equestria who live in a different dimension from them. It's like the war between Thanos and the Avengers in Endgame. The main Thanos the group has fought against for the longest time and has previous history with was killed in the first 10 minutes of Endgame. And from that point on, the Thanos in the rest of the movie is just a guy who learns about everything the Avengers have been doing and inserts himself into this war with them because, hey, those guys are preventing me from accomplishing my goal. At least in that case, the Avengers wanted to stop Thanos to stop his genocidal massacre of the universe because they know he's an evil dude from the previous interactions with the main Thanos. Here, you don't go after the ponies from Dream Castle or the Flutter ponies. No, you decide to target the ponies of Equestria in a separate dimension to mess with. I mean, what are they gonna tell their parents when they get back? Hey everyone, we got revenge on a group of ponies we've never met before and definitely not the ones who imprisoned us in this volcano. Stupid. Also, why wouldn't the parents include this information of breaking the ponies community by questioning their loyalties in the original message in the first issue? The letter in the first issue literally just ended with get revenge on ponies. This new letter even criticizes the girls' lack of abilities with their magical powers and not being bright in general. And the first letter just issues the blanket statement of get revenge on ponies. You'd think they give their daughters a little more instruction with the lack of belief that they express in this letter. Especially with the fact that in the very next scene, the 3 ponies are called back to Dire and Grackle to inform the trio of how they can bring down every pony based on the information they literally just received. Anyway, with the curriculum concocted for the smooth ponies, they begin to integrate it into the students' weekly schedule, such with Violet Shiver's class in Afterlife Drawing. And it seems even the kids are getting into it, though Starlight and the other teachers have their reservations. Gee, I wonder why. It's almost like you authorize 3 complete strangers with no official academic accreditation whatsoever and without running any background check to run a curriculum without even checking out what they're gonna teach or even the title of their classes. But hey, that wouldn't happen because that would just be stupid. You stupid. Seriously though, the trio have been running their classes for 2 weeks now, and this is the first time Starlight has even taken an interest or even monitored them? At least in the episode A Horseshoe Inn, Starlight was watching how the applicants would fail and would nip the problem in the bud as soon as possible by removing the poorly received applicants. But nope, here it's just, hey, you seem fine, teach our students, and good luck, I trust you. Anyway, Starlight confronts Blackbell about the scary nature of her course, and naturally, she backs off, letting her continue the teaching. I seem to remember a time when Discord hired a bunch of ineffective temp teachers, and again, Starlight nipped that problem and, to a degree, before the spirit unleashed utter chaos onto the school. But still, at least she saw an issue there, but doesn't see any issue with this? Also, how did you not notice the obvious interdimensional portal that was clearly in front of you? I would imagine it would at least make some type of shimmering sound effect at least. I think some pony needs her eyes examined, and ears, and brain while they're at it. Anyway, the note Trent gives them is basically an ultimatum to either cause more trouble or the volcano becomes a glue factory. The trio whip up their plan of action by ruining the upcoming Harvest Festival, destabilizing or destroying various entertainment centers of Ponyville, and mind controlling the Wonderbolts.
It's opinion, not news!
Why not bring down the whole school of friendship during class time? Or have Violet Shiver plunge the entire town in a frozen wasteland instead of just the Apple family's crops? And then you have Shadowstorm who can take over Pony's minds. Just take over Starlight's mind and the rest of the main six, and you get rid of your biggest hurdle to cause all the chaos they want. That would make those ponies you hate suffer indeed. But hey, on the bright side, it's a nice, beautiful morning with the birds singing and the sun shining and— oh, here's me, Celestia!
Whoa, man! What is that thing?
I gotta give the comic credit. There's certainly a lot of weird, creepy imagery in these comics, and it looks absolutely amazing and terrifying. And so issue number 2 ends with the marching orders from the witches to cause even more chaos, with the Smooth ponies claiming that they are about to become unbridled. So how was issue number 2? Well, it was definitely more interesting than the first issue, but it also has a lot more problems. Ignoring all the logical problems I brought up, the 3 Smooth ponies are basically indecipherable from one another, therefore not very memorable. I'm not kidding, when I was scripting this video, I forgot their names constantly and I had to go back to the first page to see who was who. Now the story does get fun once the 3 start causing trouble in the school and around Ponyville, but that doesn't happen until the halfway point. Until then, the comic feels like it's just going through the motions and dumping exposition. It's not bad, but it's just okay. Hopefully, now that the trio will now become unbridled, it will lead to some more interesting stuff happening. Well, that's it for today, guys. Until next time, and see ya!